Hey there, I'm going to continue my series on Intro to Improvisation, and this is episode 3. And we're going to start with the same scale that we used in the previous 2 videos. The pentatonic scale is a very useful scale, and it can be used in all sorts of situations. The first episode we talked about playing the A minor pentatonic, the pentatonic scale over A minor, over an A minor progression. In the same scale, if you start on C, is a C major pentatonic, and so we played over a kind of a C-centric progression, and now we're going to play over kind of a blues progression. It's not going to be a 12-bar blues per se. It's not going to be 3 chords. It's only going to be 2 chords. We're going to do the 1 chord and the 4 chord, which in this case is going to be A7 and D7. And the thing about the A minor pentatonic is that it works over the A7 chord. Now, the A7 chord has a C sharp in it. Okay, if we look at the notes in an A7 chord, it is A, C sharp, E, and G. A is the root, C sharp is the 3rd, E is the 5th, and G is the 7th. Now, don't worry about all that music theory stuff, but I like to say it anyway because eventually that stuff starts to sink in. You start to catch on to the terminology and all that, okay? But there's not going to be any quiz, so don't worry about that. But I said C sharp. Well, in the A minor pentatonic, there's no C sharp. There's a C natural and there's a D. And if I were to play all 3 of those at the same time, which would be very difficult, how could I even do it? Let's see. In other words, it's not easy. But it would be those 3 notes. So there's going to definitely be some clashing. The D is going to clash with the C sharp of the A7 chord, and the C is going to clash with the C sharp of the A7 chord. However, that's kind of what makes the blues sound. It's that dissonance between that 3rd and the flat 3rd, which is what the C is. Again, no quiz, don't worry about this. Okay, so when there's a C, when there's an A7 playing, there's a C sharp in it, you're going to be playing, basically you might be playing a C with a C sharp in the chord, and it might create a little bit of tension, but that's actually really good because what the tension wants to do is be resolved. Okay, so just a review, here's the scale, okay? A, C, okay, we're at the 5th fret of the bottom string, 8th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, I'm sorry, 8th fret, 5th fret, 8th fret, and then backwards, 7 5, 7 5, 7 5, 8 5. Okay, so maybe play that a few times, kind of get familiar with it. Those are the only notes I'm going to use for our time together of play along with Tom. So what I want you to do is just like we've been doing before, echo what I play. I'm going to play very simple. I'm going to start to add some things. I'm going to work through the whole scale, and you're going to notice that there's some notes that are a little bit out. But what I'll do is I'll play a lick on the first half of the first bar, and then you imitate it in the second bar. And then I'll play another lick. The chord will change to D7, and the notes in a D7 are D, F sharp, A, and C. 1, 3, 5, 7. And so the note that's going to kind of stick out is maybe the G note. That really won't work. But if we look at the scale, we have, like I said before, we have 3 A's on the 5th fret of the bottom string, on the 7th fret of the 4th string, and on the 5th fret of the 1st string. So we have 3 A's, and we have 2 D's. And those are going to be maybe our landing notes for some of the licks over the D7 chord. And the D, one of the D's is at the 5th fret of the 5th string, right there, and at the 7th fret of the 3rd string. Okay? And like I've said in the previous episodes, and I'll probably say in every episode, this can be really, this lesson can be taken at many levels. The first level being watch the video, try to imitate what I do. Try to imitate the timing as well. You know, try to come in, if I come in on 1, come in on 1 of the next bar. If I come in on the and of 1, try to come in on the and of 1 of the next bar, that kind of thing. Not critical. The main idea is just to kind of get some licks using those scales that aren't just playing up and down the scales. So that's the first thing. You can watch me. The next thing you can do is just listen to it and don't watch. Turn your back to the screen or whatever and try to imitate. Once you've got it down, you can try to imitate me by using your ear. And then of course the third thing you can do is imitate me using your ear and sing along with yourself. You know, that helps you to connect, like I said, your head with your hands. All right, you ready? Are you ready to do this? Oh wait, I forgot. I'm going to give you a bonus note. Okay, so we're gonna add a blues note to it. We're gonna make this technically a blues scale. So it was an A minor pentatonic. I'm going to do a blues scale. So halfway through this progression, I'm going to try to keep tabs on it. About halfway in, about 5 minutes in, I'm going to change my scale and add the flat fifth or sharp fourth. I like to think of it as a flat fifth. Okay, here's where it is. We're going to play the scale again. 5th fret, 8th fret, 5th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret. You hear that? You've heard a million songs use that. You can just practice that if you want. Okay, moving on. 5th fret, 7th fret of the 4th string, then on the 3rd string, 5th fret, 7, and then 8. There's our E flat again, or flat 5. There's the 5. This is the 5th fret of the 2nd string. 8, 5th, and 8. Sorry, I'm getting weird pick sounds. Okay, so that will help us sound a little bit more bluesy when we start to add those notes in. So we're gonna take it real slow. We're just gonna add them in once we get about halfway through the play along video. Okay. Okay, just a reminder, here are the two scales I'm going to use. A minor pentatonic, 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. And then A blues, which is 5, 8, 5, 6, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8. So the blues is the minor pentatonic with the 2 E flats added. Okay, kind of create a little bit more bluesy tone and gives you more options when it comes to soloing. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Okay, now I'm just gonna jam a little bit using those two scales. I may stray a little bit.